Tote Talk with Mountain Man and the Wizard.
Hey guys, it's the Wizard, and welcome back to another creepypasta by Tote Talk After Dark. Tonight's creepypasta is, I was working as a forest ranger, something is following me now, by Fog Whisper 7374. Make sure you go over there and check him out on Reddit. Sit back, smoke a joint, and enjoy.
I've always liked the quietness of nature. The peace that comes with walking through the trees into the woods. Also, watching the clear night sky is probably one of my favorite things to do. Seeing so many stars out there just reminds me of how small we really are, how insignificant our existence is. We could disappear in an instant and the universe wouldn't even notice. My brother always brought me camping with him. And that's when we discovered my passion for nature. Now I just like going camping with my friends. My brother has moved out of the country. Hope I'll see him soon. I really miss spending time with him. I'm worried I won't have the privilege of doing that, given the situation I find myself in now. But hope is all I've got. If you read this, please pray for me. I need that. I won't give specific details about me, as I don't consider them important. I'm a 26-year-old man. That's most I'm saying. I'll tell you how I got in this situation. I recently started to work as a forest ranger. Everything seemed okay at first, but the fact that they just took me in without an interview should have rang some bells and alarms. I was desperate for a job as I have very little money, so I never thought about it. The day I arrived at the cabin was beautiful. The sun was setting, weaving off a dim orange light through the trees. The weather was nice, your typical clear summer weather. Everything was perfect. The cabin is almost entirely made of wood. Classic, I thought. It's big enough for one or two people, and it looks very cozy inside. I stepped through the door and put my backpack underneath the bed. I opened the wardrobe and put on my sleeping clothes. As I got comfortable, I noticed there was a recorder on the table, along with a survival guide and a metal crucifix. Something was wrong. I picked up the recorder and pressed play, and something felt very off about it. I could feel the blood running cold in my veins as the voice started.
Is this thing on? We don't got much time. Hello, my name is Killian Sutter, and I am the former ranger who worked here. I don't want to scare you, but this job is not as you would expect. You see, weird things happen here, and they can prove to be deadly if you don't follow carefully what I'm about to tell you. In order to be able to survive, this recording will be your Bible. The rules I've recorded for you are things that I've discovered on my own while working here. I don't know if this is everything, but it's mostly what usually happens around here. And they go as followed. 1. If the light bulb in your cabin suddenly starts to flicker, lock the door immediately, close the curtains, and turn off the lights. The thing will come close to your cabin and will try to enter. Do not panic, as it will leave if it doesn't find a way in. 2. Always lock the door behind you when you go outside. Failing to do this will result in the thing waiting for you in the cabin, hidden somewhere. 3. If you hear scratching from outside the cabin, do not be tricked by your ears. It's not coming from the outside, but from the inside. Stay still and hold your breath. The thing is blind, and it won't know you're there if you do that. It should leave by the time you count to 10, rushing through the door. 4. While outside, be as quiet as you can, or it will hear you. If it does, rush back to the cabin and barricade yourself in there. 5. If at any point you get injured, clean the wound fast and bandage it so that you can't see any blood. The thing can smell the blood from far away, and it makes it go into a feral frenzy. Also, change the bandage often. When you do that, throw the bandage in the fire. Number 6. Never leave your cabin after the sunset and before the sunrise, no matter what. The thing is much more aggressive when it's dark outside. Number 7. Before you go to sleep, put the metal crucifix I left in the direction facing the entrance of the cabin. Number 8. Set your alarm at 3 a.m. and wake up to check on the crucifix. If it has blood on it, ignore rule number 6 and get the hell out of the cabin as fast as you can and run to the storm shelter. I have marked it for you on the map in the survival guide. Number 9. Don't try to escape the woods until your contract expires, or the thing will follow you wherever you go. You have been warned. Some situations will require you to combine the rules, so be sure to remember them all. Good luck. Keep yourself safe. It's too late for me.
Fuck no. What did I get into? Thoughts rushed aggressively through my mind. I was both angry and confused at the same time. I didn't know if the note was a prank or if it was real. Maybe this guy Killian just wanted to scare me. But I'd rather not take any chances, so I guess I'll just have to listen to the recording. At least until I realized if it's fake or not. When I got hired, nobody told me that somebody left before I was about to get into this. Maybe they knew I wouldn't accept if they told me this. Soon after, it was dark outside. I was sleepy and I almost forgot to put the crucifix to face the door. Then I went to sleep. The next day I woke up and noticed a big scratch on my right arm. I was bleeding. I quickly cleaned the wound and applied a bandage to it. I also threw my shirt and stained bedsheet into the fire because they now had my blood on them. I froze then. How did this happen? Then I remembered the rule. Set your alarm for 3 a.m. and wake up to check the crucifix. If it has blood on it, ignore rule number 6 and get the fuck out of the cabin as fast as you can and run to the storm shelter. I didn't check the crucifix. I have to admit, I was scared. The list of rules wasn't a prank. Killian knew something I didn't, and he wanted to warn me about it. I haven't seen this thing he was talking about in the notes until now. But I'm sure I don't want to see it. Not after what happened today. I checked to see if the crucifix had blood on it. Yeah, I know. I should have done that hours earlier. It seemed to be fine. So why did I wake up with a big scratch on me? What the hell is going on? I spent the rest of the day in my cabin, afraid to go outside. Check the woods. This night I followed the rules exactly as I should have the night before. I put the crucifix to face the door. I woke up at 3 in the morning to check on it. It was fine. The next 5 days were peaceful and I finally summoned the courage to do my actual job and go check the woods. I was quiet and I didn't attract any unwanted attention. Those were the best days. I could actually enjoy being out in nature, relax for a while. I felt so disconnected from the troubles of my life. I felt a sensation of peace. It was almost like the rules never existed apart from the night ones and door locking ones. I was out there enjoying myself. I didn't miss my normal days before I got the job. I enjoyed every last moment of those quiet days. And I'm glad I did because things started to get bad. On the 8th day, I was inside the cabin, reading a book while I was in bed. And then I heard it. A scratching sound, seemingly coming from outside. I remembered the rule. If you hear scratching coming from outside the cabin, do not be tricked by your ears. It's not coming from outside, but inside. Stay still. Hold your breath. It should leave by the time we count to 10. I quickly closed my eyes and stood frozen in bed, holding my breath. I could feel the breath of the thing as it was sniffing me. I think it sensed the smell of fresh meat, a quick meal. I started to count. I was about to reach 10, then I heard a loud noise. The thing rushed out of the cabin through the door. I ran and closed it, locking it in the process. Then I passed out on the floor. When I woke up, it was almost midnight. Oh my God, the crucifix. I quickly rushed to put it in the position facing the door. Did I fail this rule? Am I going to die? These thoughts tormented me until 3 when I checked it. My heart started to beat fast, so fast that I could hear it, so fast that it felt like it was tearing my chest open. The crucifix had blood on it. In a panic, I grabbed the survival guide and the flashlight and booked it into the storm shelter. I could feel the thing following me, getting closer each moment. After 15 minutes, I arrived at the storm shelter. I rushed through the doors and locked them behind me. And I fell down from the pain I could feel in my leg. I felt like I had snapped something, trying to outrun the beast. I crawled into the corner and fell asleep, waking up just before sunrise from the aching pain in my left ankle. And I fell asleep again. As I woke up, I asked myself, how am I going to make it back to the cabin with a snapped ankle? I improvised a walking stick out of a wooden pole I'd found in the storm shelter and started to hike back to the cabin. I had to get help. There's no mobile service in the forest, and I don't have a landline in the cabin. Also, I'm not a doctor, and I can't do anything about my ankle. As I was walking around the forest, I could feel the thing from before watching me, smiling at me. I was easy prey. I couldn't get away from it. My heavy footsteps were leaving deep marks on the ground as I was getting more and more tired. Finally, I got back to the cabin, ate something. Then I thought of something a little risky. I planned to leave the woods tomorrow. I knew it was stupid. Also, I knew what would happen if I do. It's written in the rules. I lost the flow of time while contemplating my decisions. Soon it was dark again outside. I turned on the light, and soon it started to flicker. No, not now, I thought to myself. I checked to see if the door was locked, and sure enough it was. I closed the curtains and turned off the lights as instructed. Shortly after, I could hear it. The thing was outside the cabin, trying to find a way in. It started to claw at the walls and smash its body on the door. I accidentally caught a glimpse of what the thing looked like through the small part of a window. It was tall, and it had a pale skin, like it was made out of snow. You could see the veins in its skin. That's how pale it was. It had long limbs and big, razor-sharp claws. But the most terrifying was its head. It was human, but it was missing its eyes. It had big, dark, empty eye sockets, so dark you could stare into them and feel the sensation of plunging into the abyss. I could feel the terrible hunger this creature had for human meat. I was scared. It wanted to tear at me, rip out my flesh and feast on it. It would be just a matter of time till it gets me. After a while, it left me and I went to put the crucifix to face the door. I also woke up at 3 and checked it. It was clean, my lucky night. Now I had to get some rest for tomorrow. I woke up the next day and geared up to leave the forest once and for all. I exited the cabin and started the hike towards the edge of the woods. I was slow as I had to improvise the walking stick from earlier. As I hadn't eaten in a long while, I was gripped by agonizing hunger. I tripped over and fell into the ground. The noise was loud enough to attract that thing to come to me. I saw it getting closer, gritting its teeth in anticipation. I was done for. Then I heard something in the woods, a very loud growl echoing through the trees. It seemed to scare the thing from earlier. Then came a beast similar to the one running on all fours. Two clashed in a fight. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The monster which came recently scared the other, which was running like a wounded animal back to the thick tree line. I could see the best was wearing the torn ranger uniform, or what remains of it. On the badge I could read the name of the wearer. It was written clear and big, Killian Sutter. The thing ran back into the woods chasing the other beast. What just happened? I was very confused until I remembered Killian Sutter was the name of the last ranger who worked on this forest. Why was he a beast? Why did he attack the other one? I'm grateful that I'm alive. I picked myself up and continued to hike out of the forest. I arrived at the end of the road and got into my car. I called 911 as I was injured, cold, and afraid. I passed out after. I woke up in a hospital bed. There's something clawing at the door. I know what happened. I broke the last rule. Don't try to escape the woods until your contract expires, or the thing will follow you wherever you go. Now I'm just sitting in the hospital bed afraid of whatever got out of that forest and is now following me. I can sense its hunger. It wants my flesh, and I know the door is not enough to stop it. As the hinge got looser and looser, I was preparing for the impending doom ahead. I accepted the fact that I was going to die. But I got lucky again, as I thought before the door was broken. I feel like it was playing with me, preying on my fear. I know that I can't do much about it, as I'm writing this. I got discarded from the hospital, sitting in my bed at home. I know it's only a matter of time before I see that creature, but this time, I won't run. I'm gonna face whatever the fuck that is. Hey guys, thanks for joining in and listening to another creepypasta by Toke Talk at Dark. Join us next time for the next one. Thanks.
And always remember, keep your tinfoil hats and your bowls close. You never know what may happen.
Peace, y'all.